Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, to
Good
start,
morning, ma'am.
good morning. So, in the last class, we completed up to the factors affecting the rate of transpiration. Right? This much we did. All the factors we have discussed. What are the factors? Sunlight, temperature, wind, humidity. Now, how? I'll repeat. What is the function or why are the main factors? Right? So basically, sunlight, you all know sunlight we get only in daytime, right? There is no sunlight in the night time. So basically, during daytime, when the sunlight is more, transpiration is faster. Why? Because during sunlight, more water is getting evaporated, right? So you all know what is transpiration? Transpiration is the process of loss of water from the plant body, right? So during daytime, when the sunlight is more, transpiration occurs in a faster rate as compared to night. Night, it is very little, right? Either it's not there or it's very little. And then temperature. How could temperature affect transpiration? That means more temperature leads to more transpiration. Transpiration increases. That means when the temperature is more, like if you know if the hot climate, if we are experiencing a hot climate, and that hotness of the climate is very intensive in nature, very more. So during that time, during that hot climate, our body will sweat more, right? It will release more amount of water, right? So similarly, in plants also, during hot time, hot days, the temperature, that means that when it is affected by increase in temperature, the transpiration rate is faster. Then wind is the third point. That means faster the wind is faster the transpiration, right? Now how? When these water droplets are on the leaves, they are about to transpire. When a fast or sudden wind blows, so what happens? These water droplets from these plant parts or these leaves, they move out very quickly. If a force of water is being given, sorry, if a force of wind is being given, the things will move quickly. It will just blow away, right? So the transpiration rate is also faster during increase in wind, like when wind increases, wind rate increases. Then fourth is humidity. That means water content in atmosphere. Humidity is what? Water content in the atmosphere. So when the atmosphere water content is already high, so what happens here? Here transpiration does not increase, it decreases. Why? Because the water content is already high in the atmosphere. The surrounding atmosphere is already humid in nature. It's already watery already. So it will not increase the rate of transpiration, but what it will do? It will eventually decrease the rate because the water content is already high. So we need not do any transpiration. So the water will remain inside the cell sap only, right? So when humidity increases, transpiration decreases. But the other 3 points, sunlight, temperature, and wind, if they are increasing, the transpiration also increases with them. But if humidity increases, transpiration is decreasing. Right? The reasons are clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Come to next page. Page number 8. Page number 8. That is importance of transpiration in plants. So there are two importance, that is cooling effect, and transpiration helps in maintaining the concentration of sap inside the plant body. Now how it is important or useful in cooling effect? Like take the example of our body. When we sweat and when the sweat is transpired out, when it is released out of our body, we feel a cooling effect, right? When it is blown out, when it is properly dried up, we feel a cool effect, a slight cool effect. Similarly, in that way, plants also experience this cooling effect. When transpiration occurs, when the water is released out from their body or the plant parts, the leaves, they feel a cooling effect, right? Same as the human body. When sweat is blown away or when sweat gets evaporated, it gets dried up, we feel a cooling effect. Similarly, plants also feel that effect. Yes. And second one is transpiration helps in maintaining the concentration of the sap inside the plant body. That means when the roots continue to absorb water from the soil, at some time the sap already have more water in it. It does not require to collect or absorb enough water, right? So it is already more amount of water is present. So thus transpiration do what? It helps the sap maintain its concentration. Sap is what? Sap means the cell content. The contents inside a cell is known as a cell sap. So through this, through transpiration, what is achieved? Transpiration helps in maintaining the concentration in the sap, right? Now come to uses of water in the plant. Uses of water in the plant. Now, you all know water is the main constituent of everything for preparation of food, also for gaining of energy, for growth, everything. Water and minerals are required, right? So, what are the uses of water in plants? There are three main ways: transportation, food production, and cooling, right? Now, how water helps in transportation? Now, you all know, you must have studied tissues in 7th standard. In that, you know, xylem tissues are there, right? Vascular bundles. It comes under vascular bundles, xylem tissues. What they do? They carry water, right? They carry water and minerals to different parts of the plant body. From where it carries? Carries the water from the roots to the different parts of the plant body, right? So, in a way, water is very useful in plant for transportation, right? For transportation of what? Transport substances in a solution from one part to another. Now, water is transporting substances in the solution. That means little substances which are present. It is transported by water, because you all know water flow is very good. Flow of water is very good, right? It can take things from one place to another. If we visit a waterfall or if we visit a flowing river, the water can eventually take us to another end also, right? It has much flow. So similarly, in this also, it transports food, right? It is flowing in nature. So it transports food and other minerals, other substances, everything. So thus water helps in transportation. Now, second point is food production. How it helps in food production. Now you will think water and food can be combined together or what? Yes, because you all know how is food produced in plants? By the process of,
Photosynthesis.
yes, by the process of photosynthesis, right? Photosynthesis occurs in leaves and the leaf produces the food. So during photosynthesis, you know what all are required, right? Sunlight is required, water is required, right? So basically, what is the equation for photosynthesis? You all know carbon dioxide plus water gives out glucose plus oxygen in the presence of sunlight, right? This much is clear. You can write it down. CO2 plus H2O in the presence of sunlight. That means put an arrow, write sunlight over that arrow, and then you can write C6H12O6, which is the formula for glucose, right? C6H12O6 plus O2, oxygen. So this is the equation for photosynthesis. Now you see carbon dioxide plus water. That means water is an ingredient here. Water is required here. So carbon dioxide plus water is giving out glucose. The glucose is the main food. So eventually the water will be a contributor to the food also, right? So it also helps in food production. Thus, it helps in food production. You all got my point?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you please write it down, the equation. If it is not in your book, you can write it down when I am saying. It is CO2 plus H2O. CO2 is carbon dioxide, H2O is water. Put an arrow. Above that arrow, write sunlight. And below that arrow, one more thing you have to write chlorophyll. Below the arrow, you have to write chlorophyll. And then after that arrow, you have to write C6H12O6. C6H12O6, that is the formula for glucose. And here glucose is the final food produced. And what is released out along with glucose? O2, oxygen. So you can write C6H12O6 plus O2, right? So thus, water also helps in food production. Now third is cooling. The heat utilized when water is transpired from the surface of leaves in the form of water vapor induces a cooling effect. Now we all had a look in transpiration, what are the effects of transpiration and also importance of transpiration. In that, we learned about the cooling effect. So similarly, water helps in the cooling effect. When the water is transpired or when the water is evaporated, when it is released out, we feel a cooling effect. Not only we, the plants also. The plants, human body, everyone feels a cooling effect when the water is released out. So there also water is used in the plant body, right? In the process of what? In the process of transpiration, right? In transpiration, the water is released out. So in the process of transpiration, water is very useful as it is released out and gives a cooling effect, right? Now we'll just read the last paragraph. You must have experienced that standing under a tree during a hot summer midday gives you a cooling effect. This cooling is not entirely due to shade, but also due to the loss of water from the surface of the leaves by evaporation. Since evaporation produces coolness, it makes the air cool. The cool air, being heavier, tends to settle down and makes the surrounding pleasant. Now you understand what is the process when we stand under a tree in a hot summer day, we feel cool. Now we think it is because of the shade of that particular tree. It is because of that shadiness of the particular tree. But it's not. It is because it is releasing water with the process of transpiration. It is releasing out water, and this water is going into the atmosphere, mixing up with the atmosphere, and gives the atmosphere a cool air. And then this air is not able to settle upwards, so it comes and settle downwards. This air is very heavy. It includes water droplets, right? So it becomes very heavy and it settles downwards and makes the whole surrounding very cool and pleasant, right? This is the logic behind that. Yes. Now come to page number 9. Importance of minerals. Now this is a very short topic. What is the importance of minerals in a plant? Right? You all know plants carry water and minerals carried by xylem. Right? Xylem carries water and minerals from the roots. So basically, from where does the plant get the minerals? From the roots.
Root.
That means from the soil. Yes, root is actually taking the things upward and yes, upwards to the plant body. But actually, where is the nutrient? Where is these minerals? Where are they present? In the soil, right? The soil contains these minerals. Now, nutrient elements, that is minerals, are essential for plants to grow well and complete their life cycle properly. The nutrient elements are divided into two broad categories: macronutrients, that means large, required in larger concentrations, and micronutrients, small, required in very small amounts. All of the nutrient elements are obtained from the soil. As I said, we obtain these nutrient elements or the minerals from the soil. Who carries it? The roots. The roots carries minerals from the soil to the different parts of the plant body. Now there are two types of minerals. What are they? Macro and micronutrients. The macro ones are the larger ones, which have larger concentration, which occupies larger space, right? And the micro ones are which are the smaller concentration ones, required in small amounts, right? That means macronutrients are required by the plants in a very large amount, and micro are required in a very less amount, right? Now, similarly, same goes with our body also. We require nutrients, but some are macronutrients which are required in more amount, right? That's the same thing with plants also. Now, yes, now you can take examples of macronutrients. That means nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. These are macronutrients. Macro, nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. You can see the table below. You can see a table below, nutrients, macro and micro. So macro means nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Micro have iron, manganese, and zinc. Now, what are their roles? That means nitrogen is the constituent of proteins for all the plants, right? Also, phosphorus, constituent of cell membrane and certain proteins. Phosphorus also deals with protein molecules. Potassium, more abundant in growing tissues involved in the opening and closing of stomata. So these are the role or the function of these nutrients. Now their deficiency can cause what thing? Major deficiency system. That means if the plant do not have these macronutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, it may cause some deficiency in the plant. What is the deficiency? Yellowing of leaves, wrinkling of cereal grains, purple and red spots on leaves, delay in seed germination, poor growth with reduced rate of transpiration. So all these deficiencies, that means if a plant do not contain these macronutrients, that is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. If a plant do not have all these, so the plant will eventually have deficiency, like yellowing of the leaves. You must have seen leaves get yellow after some time. That's due to this deficiency. Also, you see some spots over the leaves. That's also because of this deficiency. Purple, red, and black spots are also seen, right? And also seed germination delay. That means seed will not germinate, it will not grow because of the loss of or because of the uh, in presence of these nutrients, right? Now come to micronutrients, iron, manganese, and zinc. These also constitute proteins, enzymes, and hormones, right? So their deficiency can cause yellowing of leaves, gray spots, D-shaped leaves, stunted plant growth. What is stunted plant growth? That means plant do not grow properly. It will become dwarf, right? It will become dwarf. That is stunted plant growth. It will not grow after a certain time, right? So these are all the deficiency caused by the loss of these elements or these nutrients, right? So go through this table once. Now we have finished the chapter. Do you all have any doubt in the chapter?
No, ma'am, no doubt.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you have already learned what is transpiration, diffusion, osmosis. You all know differences between diffusion and osmosis, right? Then transpiration. Then short definitions are there, like what is root pressure, what is ascent of sap, everything. Just go through these definitions and differences because this will definitely come in your exam. I'm damn sure this will definitely come in your exam. All these small definitions. What is ascent of sap? What is root pressure? Right? What is transpiration? And difference between osmosis and diffusion. All these will come in 1, 2, 3 marks and so on. Right? Now come to the question answers. Page number 10. We will discuss the short questions we will discuss. And if possible, we will discuss the long ones too. Let us discuss the short ones first, the multiple choice. Come to the multiple choice questions. Just a minute. Yes, multiple choice questions. Now pay attention. We are discussing the questions, so you have to tick one among those four. Put a tick mark against the correct alternative in the following statement. Diffusion occurs when molecules move. What will be the correct answer? From lower concentration to higher concentration, from higher concentration to lower concentration through a membrane, from higher concentration to lower concentration, or when energy is used. What is the answer? Can anyone say?
From
From
higher
higher
concentration to lower concentration.
Yes, very good. That means the third option, from higher concentration to lower concentration. Diffusion occurs when molecules move from higher concentration to lower concentration. Put a tick mark on the third option. Now, ascent of sap in plants takes place through cortex, epidermis, xylem, phloem.
epidermis.
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 Yes, very good. So ascent of sap in plants takes place through epidermis. That is the second option. Second option. If the xylem vessels of the plant are plugged, now what will happen? If the xylem vessels of a plant are plugged, the leaves will turn into, yes,
The plant will wilt.
yes, the plant will wilt or shrivel. The third option, right? Why? You all know because xylem carries water and minerals. If the xylem vessels are plugged out or plugged, what will happen? The plant will eventually shrink, start shrinking, right? It will not gain enough water and nutrients. So the third option is the right answer. Force responsible for the ascent of sap is,
All of these. Ma'am, all.
yes, all of the three, right? Fourth option, all of the three. Capillary force, root pressure, transpirational pull, three of them are required for or responsible for the ascent of sap. Raisins swell when put in
Rainwater.
Rainwater.
rainwater. Very good.
Rainwater.
Yes, tick the first option, rainwater. The root hairs are suited for absorbing water from the soil because, now read these
All the
sentences. Yes, they have
All
large
the
surface area, they have a semi-permeable membrane, they contain solution of higher concentration than the surroundings. So the answer will be last one, all of the above. That means all the three. Fourth option. F answer is fourth option. Transpiration is defined as
the
the
loss of
loss
water
of
as
water as water vapor from the aerial parts of a plant.
yes, that means the third one. The loss of water as water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant, right? This is transpiration. Which one of the following favors the fastest transpiration rate?
a hot, dry, windy day.
Dry,
A
windy.
hot, dry, windy day.
Yes, that means the fourth option. Hot when the temperature is also more hot, right? Dry and windy day. Wind also increases the rate of transpiration. So fourth will be the answer. And why second cannot be the answer? It is hot, it is windy, but humid is also there. Humid will decrease the rate of transpiration. And the third and first also, humid is there. Humid will decrease the rate. So fourth is the answer, a hot, dry, windy day. Now come to page number 13. You come to page number 12. Page number 12, true or false? The last one, true or false. We will discuss the questions later or I'll give you the answers in Moodle. Okay, we'll discuss this true or false now. A, water absorption mainly occurs through the root hair. True or false?
True.
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 Yes. Put a T. Write T. True. Write in that box given, right? Pink box is given in front, right there. Water enters the root hair by osmosis.
True.
True. It's a true. Water enters the root hair by osmosis. It's a true. Water absorbed by the root reaches the leaves and is used in producing food for the entire plant.
True.
True.
Yes, it is true. A semi-permeable membrane allows larger molecules to pass through but prevents the smaller ones.
False.
Yes, it's a false. Why? What is the actual answer? A semi-permeable membrane allows smaller molecules to pass through and prevents the larger ones. Right? It is the right answer. So this sentence is false because in place of smaller, larger is given. The sentence is false. Transpiration is the loss of water from the roots of the plant.
False.
False.
False. Where does the water come out?
Leaves.
Yes. So write false. And underline roots, you can write there leaves, right? From leaves, the water is released out. Transpiration cools the plant when it is hot outside.
True.
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 It's true. Transpiration cools the plant when it is hot outside. Now fill in the blanks. There are some terms given below. So using these terms, we have to fill the blanks. Transportation in plants is carried out by a dash system.
Conducting.
Yes. Conducting system, right? Conducting system. Transportation in plants is carried out by a conducting system. Then B. The upward movement of sap that contains water and minerals is called dash of sap. Yes, ascent. The spelling is given above. You can write the spelling from there. In that green box, the spelling of the words are given. Conducting, ascent, everything is given. So it is called ascent of sap. Transpiration is more when the wind is blowing dash.
Fast.
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 Yes. Fast is the answer. Most water gets evaporated from the plant from its dash.
Leaves.
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 Leaves. Transpiration is reduced if the air is dash.
Humid.
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 Yes, humid is the answer. Now, I hope you all have understood the chapter. You are answering very well. So I'm clear. Yes, I am very clear that you have understood the chapter very well. So if you want any repetition of any topic, you may ask me. I'll repeat that topic. I'll make sure that you all must understand everything, right? So now, yes.
Ma'am, we have to write this short question answer and long question answer in our notebook.
No, you have to just write the long ones in your notebook. That means in which we are forming sentences, right? The long ones. You don't have to write the multiple choice, fill in the blanks and true or false. No need. Only the long answers. That means the long answers which are given in page number 11 and 12 and the 13 one. Also, no need to write these ones in the short answer questions. No need to write a notebook. Only the long answer. Okay. Only the long answer. Short answer you can write here only. The space is there. Space is given in your book. Can you see some spaces are given in page number 11 and 12? So you can write the short answer there. Not in the notebook. Only the long answer which is in page number 13. Long answer you have to write in the notebook. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now we will come to the short answer questions. We will discuss these. The long answer question, I'll prepare a file and upload it on Moodle. You also please try to find out the answers. It's all is everything is given in your book, right? Just go through the pages, go through the topics. You will get all the answers in your book. Nothing is from outside, right? Now we will discuss page number 11, short answer questions now. We will discuss short answer questions. So you can write the answers in the spaces given below, right? An experiment was set up as shown in the figure below. After some time, the water level in test tube A fell down, but not in test tube B. Why was there a fall in the water level of test tube A and not in that of test tube B? Now have a look in these test tubes A1 and B1. In the test tube A, a plant is a plant is inserted inside, right? The upper layer is of oil, then test tube, water. Inside the water, plant is inserted. B1 is empty, only water and oil is there, plant is not there. Now, just a minute. Yes. So why was there a fall in the water level of test tube A and not in test tube B? Now, this is a tricky question, right? You have to think about it. You can see in test tube A, a plant is placed, right? The plant have roots. Now this roots is absorbing the water, right? Roots are absorbing the water, obviously. So when the root will absorb the water, eventually the water inside the test tube will decrease, right? So how you can write the answer? There was a fall in the water level of test tube A because, or you can write there was a fall due to absorption of water by the roots. Absorption of water by the roots. And similarly, you can write for B, in test tube B, there is no plant which can absorb water. So the water remain unchanged, right? You can make your own sentences also. I will repeat the answer. There was a fall in the water level in test tube A due to absorption of water by roots. Due to absorption of water by roots. And in test tube B, there is no plant to absorb water. There is no plant to absorb water in test tube B. So level of water remain unchanged. Level of water remain unchanged. Right? Can we move to the second question? Have you written?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Second one, how are roots useful to the plants? Give any 2 points. Yes, can anyone give me 2 points? One each you can give.
Ma'am, can I? Ma'am, can I?
Yes, yes, of course.
Roots holds the plant.
Yes, root holds the plant firmly in a proper position. So that's
In
why
the
roots are useful to the plants. Right. Second one.
root
Absorb
absorb
the water.
water and mineral from soil from plant.
Yes, that's the second point, right? You can write roots holds the plant firmly in the ground. That's the first point, right? And also second one, roots absorb water and minerals from the soil, right? So these are the 2 points why roots are useful to the plants. What do xylem vessels carry? What does xylem carry?
Minerals and
Water.
gas.
Yes, minerals and water and minerals, right? Xylem vessels carry water and minerals. And what does phloem carry? This is an extra question. Can anyone answer?
Food.
Food, right? Phloem carries food materials. Xylem carries water and minerals. Now the second question, the fourth question is about phloem itself. Name the plant tissue which helps in carrying the food to different parts of the plant. It is phloem. Phloem. You all know the spelling? You can
Yes, ma'am.
spellings. Yeah. So write phloem in the fourth answer. Now define the terms semi-permeable membrane and osmosis. What is a semi-permeable membrane? So,
It allows water. It allows the water molecules to pass through it, but prevent the enter of large molecules.
yes, correct. So what is a semi-permeable membrane? You have to write full, in a full manner. It is a membrane which allows the water to pass through it and prevents the entry of larger molecules. It is a membrane which allows the water molecules to pass through it and prevents the entry of larger molecules, right? So this is a semi-permeable membrane. And what is osmosis?
The movement of water molecules over concentrate to concentrate a solution across a semi-permeable membrane.
Yeah, it's a permeable membrane, right? It is pronounced as permeable membrane. So you can write osmosis is the movement of water molecules from lower concentration, right? Which concentration? lower concentration to higher concentration through a semi-permeable membrane or across a semi-permeable membrane, right? So this is the answer, or this is the definition
Ma'am,
of yes.
ma'am, osmosis from higher concentration to lower concentration.
Just a minute. Yes, sorry. From higher to lower. It's not lower to higher, higher to lower. Or you can also write this definition, which is given in your page number 6. A blue definition is given. The movement of water molecules from a dilute solution to a concentrated solution across a semi-permeable membrane is also known as osmosis. Or from a higher concentration to lower concentration. So diffusion and osmosis are almost same. Diffusion is also the movement of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration. Only difference is what? The presence of semi-permeable membrane. In osmosis, a semi-permeable membrane is used. Now, sixth one, under what conditions do a plant transpire? A, more quickly, and B, more slowly. Under what conditions do a plant transpire? That means more quickly transpiration is when? You all know, when the sunlight is more, when the wind is faster, and when the temperature is more. And in what case it is slower? When the surrounding is already humid, right?
Rainly dry.
Yes, in a humid day or in a rainy day, transpiration is less. It is not faster, it is less. Yes.
During night.
Yes, you can write that also. You have to write only one, I guess. So, yes, if you have more to write, you can write everything what you have. That means during night or in a rainy day or in a humid day, everything it is most slowly. This is for B option. And what about A? More quickly when the sunlight is more, when the temperature is more, when the wind is more, right? Now we will discuss the other questions in the next class, in the coming class, that is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, no, 11. So 4 to 5 are remaining. I'll give the answers in the Moodle. Yeah, we can do that. I'll give these answers in the Moodle. Also, the long answer question, which is on page number 13. 9 of them are there. I'll give the answer in the Moodle app. I'll be uploading by evening, right? After evening, 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, you can visit the Moodle site and you can look the answers there. Am I clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So for today, this much is enough. We'll stop the class.